Good morning. I'm going to be working with you through lesson 108 this morning. Our first problem says we may write 48 as 40 plus 8. Use the distributive property to find 5 times 40 plus 8. So what it's telling us is 48 is equivalent to 40 plus 8. We know that. So if we use the distributive property to find out what 5 times 40 plus 8 is, we can go 5 times 40, which we know that 5 times 4 is 20. So we know that this equals 200. And 5 times 8 is 40. So if we add 200 plus 40, we get 240 as our answer. Now, as we go through this, I'm not going to give you the answers on most of them. I'm just going to set you up so you can do them on your own at home. So let's move to number 2. What is the perimeter of a rectangle that has the length of 4 inches and the width of 12 inches? Well, you know how to find the perimeter. You go 12 plus 12 plus 4 plus 4, or 12 plus 4 times 2. So if we go 12 plus 4 equals 16, and then we have 2 sets of those, so we times 16 times 2, and we get how many inches? Make sure you label on that one. And again, if your label is wrong, I double check them, so if it marks it wrong for your label, don't worry about it. I'll double check it and make sure you get the right answer. All right, let's move on to number 3. What is the area of a rectangle with 4 inches, with the length of 4 inches and the width of 12 inches? So it's the same rectangle, 4 inches times 12 inches to get the area. The last one was the perimeter. This is number 3. So you'll go 4 inches times 12 inches equals how many inches? So there, it's set up for you. You can multiply and decide what that is. Number 4, it wants us to change a fraction to a whole number. Our fraction is 8/4. So the easiest way to find the whole number is just to go 8 divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 8? And so you'll put your answer for that number. Number 5 is the same thing, except for it will be a mixed number, which means you will have a whole number and a fraction. So it's 9/5. Change that into a mixed number. So we'd go 9 divided by 5. I know that 5 goes into 9 one time, which is 5. So it will have a remainder, and we'll bring over our denominator, and we'll put our remainder as our numerator on top. So there's number 5. I realize I'm going really fast, so you can just pause this video as you're going to add in your answers. Number 6, it wants us to find a missing addend, or not an addend, a product. So number 6, an addend is when we're adding. What we're going to be doing is multiplying. So it says 4D equals $6.36. So to find D, we need to divide $6.36 by 4. So let's start that. $6.36 divided by 4. So I know that my answer will be $1. So I'll just start there by labeling. 4 goes into 6 one time. That's 4. I subtract. I bring down my 3. 4 goes into 23 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. I subtract again. I get 3 and I bring down my 6. And I know that 4 goes into 36 9 times. And that is 36 minus 36 equals 0 with no remainder. So I can see what I've got going right there. That one was a little trickier, so I walked you through all the steps on that one. Now, last week we worked on these, so this is just a refresher on number 7. It wants us to do 520 divided by 10. Now, if you remember right, you can just move your decimal over here. So it would be 52. Or you can do it and go 5 into 50 is, or 10 into 50 is 5, which is 50. I subtract, and I get 2. I bring down my 0, 5 into 20, and I'll let you finish that one out to figure out your correct answer. Again, we're moving fast, so if you need to pause to finish this problem, please do. We are almost there. We're to number 8. There were 3 4/5 pot pies in the chef's kitchen. The chef removed 1 3/5 pot pies. How many pot pies remain in the chef's kitchen? So my first thing that I do is, if you remember from the video, is I will subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2, and then 4/5 minus 3/5, so we'll bring over our denominator of 5, and then 4 minus 3 is 1. So we have how many pot pies left? We have 2 1/5. So that's our new property that we learned today. We learned that last week, I think. Today we learned distributive property. 9, how many students have dogs or cats? It has a graph on there, and it shows that there are 8 students that like dogs or have dogs, and there are 7 that like cats. So you can just add that up and label. All right, so we'll move down here to number 10, our last problem. The mixed numbers, 5 3/8. And 7, that's a whole number, and 4/5 do not have a common denominator, but we know that their sum is between which two numbers. So we can clearly see